Y'all ready? Here we go. I'd like to call to order the County Commission regular session for June 26th. Commissioner Buckner, would you lead us in prayer?
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the blessings you give us this day and throughout our lives, Father. Thank you for this county that we live in, that we can come together, discuss your business, discuss the business of the county, and pray that the decisions that we make here tonight will be in accordance with your will. Blessings, ask in Christ's name.
Amen. Everyone stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Simpkins.
Here.
Mr. Ledger. Mr. McElwain.
Here.
Mr. Beatty.
Here.
Mr. Dawson. Mr. Buckner.
Here.
Mr. Britt.
Here.
Mr. Petty.
Here.
Mr. Williams. Mr. Grove. Ms. Gray.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. First order of business.
Oh, Becky, I'm so sorry. Oh, I marked you here though.
First order of business approval of the May 15th, 2023 regular session. Open floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next item, business committee reports. Any committees to report? Hearing none, next item is public hearings. On this, we were notified that this public hearing, the applicant has withdrawn. That will take care of the public hearing for tonight, and also item 6, other business, to a vote on that. My understanding is this will have to go back through the process again before it can through planning commission before it can come back to us. So on its best day, that's about 60 or 90 days.
At this point, we have nothing.
All right, thank you. Of course, I know several of y'all have an interest in that, and we'll make sure you're notified through looking up for our agendas on Facebook. You can call planning and zoning, or I'll talk about it on the radio on third Wednesday. Next item of business is appointments. The first one is the sanitation board, the reappointment of Mr. Jason Epley. I'll open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Williams. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next reappointment is to Mayor Weiss to the 911 board. Open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next item, appointments, Library Board of Trustees. Appointment Ms. Lynette Edmondson and Ms. Andrea Bobian on their respective terms. Open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Brett, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item business under number 5, resolutions, quarterly financial reports, all funds except schools. Mr. Hall.
You have received the third quarter reports for fiscal year 2023. Now I have nothing to add to those. So you have had time to look through those. If you need anything or question them, need them approved.
Any questions for Mr. Hall? Open floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Spicer, second by Commissioner Petty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 2, budget amendments, all funds except schools. Mr. Hall.
You've also received all the funds that we take care of on the general side of government. I've received no emails or no calls on these. Do you have any questions on these for tonight? This is the final amendments for the fiscal year 2023 also.
Any questions from Mr. Hall?
Did we come out as far as money left in budgets?
Yeah, all of them. Well, the estimated, of course, these are unaudited. They will be audited probably about November. I'd say the auditors will come back. They'll come back a little early to start some preliminary work. But the estimates are in good, they look good anyways, and they generally come out better than what we estimate. We usually estimate pretty conservatively, Mr. Simpkins, but they generally come out better than that. So yeah, again, it looks like they're going to come out pretty good, all funds.
When we closed last year's audit, our standard is to keep the unreserved fund balance at least 40%. And I think we were about 43.
A little better than that, if I remember right, but yeah, it was certainly at least 43.
I'm more conservative than he is, so I'm going to stay with 43. If it's better, it's something Don Hall did it. Any other questions, Mr. Hall? Open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you.
Item number 3, budget amendment, all school funds, Board of Education representative. Looks like we have Ms. Linda Frazier here tonight. Is there any questions for Ms. Frazier?
There are no additions to what you have received. So what you received are the final amendments for the school
Thank you.
funds.
Any questions or discussion? Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Spicer. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 4, donation of bucket truck. But budget Board of Education representative, as you recall, Dr. Weeks spoke of this. It's a non-roadworthy bucket truck that we're going to use at the landfill, I believe. Motion by Commissioner Groves, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 5, speed limit change to Old Columbia Road, Commissioner Simpkins.
Yes, the sheriff notified me tonight that they're still in the process of this, and they're thinking to get a little truer outcome of this. He wants to do it during the summer hours while school's not in in school, and maybe include a couple other roads in that area, because they all, if we do one, there's going to be the road on the Hooper Road that goes to the high school, and the Columbia Road goes out the other way. So we've discussed it, and that's what we talked about. Sheriff, if you want to add something to that.
Just that the deputy that does the speed surveys with these other feeder roads and the inference being school traffic impact, we run a study while the school is not in session, get a baseline. As soon as school starts back, we'll repeat the exact same study, and then we'll have something to compare to. I think it'd be a much more insightful study if we run it that way.
These the July 17th meeting, is that too soon, or we need to move to August regular session?
Probably August regular session. That'll give me time to get the survey. Survey will be, it starts and we'll get it done, the baseline, and then as soon as school starts back, we'll run the survey again. And so we should be ready by the regular session in August. I'll shoot for the work session.
All right, so that looks like for the regular session, we'll have it on there August 21st. And if you have information at the work session on the 7th, we'll take it up then.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Sheriff. If there's no objection, then we're moving that to the August meetings. Hearing none, we'll move forward. The next is speed limit change to Hogan Road, Commissioner Spicer.
Yeah, the study was done on it. Real quick, there were a total of 9,447 vehicles over a 5-day and 20-hour study. 85th percentile was 37, one direction, and 41 in the other direction. There were a total of 633 speeders out of the 944. If you were to lower it, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd say stick real close to the 85th percentile, which would put it at 35. I think anything slower wouldn't be effective.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff, for your input. Commissioner Spicer, is that your motion? Motion by Commissioner Spicer. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions or discussion? 45 unless otherwise posted. 35.
Well, it could be Commissioner Grove. I'm not a traffic engineer, just I've been familiar with a lot of the studies. And typically road engineers home in on the 85th percentile, which is 85% of people are not going to over or under drive the roadway. One was 41 in one direction, and the other one was 37. And so if you want to be conservative on that, that's what shoots me toward the 35 versus the 40. But I'm not a road engineer, so, but that's just been my layman's experience doing these.
Well, you also have to consider that Sheriff Eads is police chief Bell Mead, and they'll give you a ticket for 1 mile over. So. All right, we have proper motion to second for 35 miles an hour at this time. We can always come back and amend that if people need to drive faster. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 7 is a resolution to adopt amendments to the Dickson County EMS collection policy. We had to make some changes to this because frankly, we didn't have one on charge offs in the length of time you had to collect it. That's what this is put in here. And it's I think just a shorthand, and Mr. Reggie, you attached me, it's a 6-year period.
Right. It reduces the charge off period from 6 years to 2 years. And the auditors were really the ones that wanted that. And I think raised it with Mr. Bear. And so that's what you have in front of you. And also the ability to negotiate some of these charges. Sometimes there are hardship issues or reasons why there needs to be some flexibility. And so the resolution contemplates that.
And charging off, having a charge off policy does not mean you quit collecting it. It just simply clears the books to a bad debt, but it can still be collected and recovered, but it becomes more unlikely as time passes on. Any questions or discussion? Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 8, road dedication for Northfield subdivision. As you see, that's been placed on here. It was brought before you. Mr. Darnell's here if you have any questions. If you have no questions, we'll open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 9 is the comment policy, public comment policy, as we discussed that 2-3 weeks ago. Any questions on that? Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Beatty. Any questions or discussion? July 1st. It'll be set by the state legislature that was start with the next fiscal year. Any other questions or discussion?
That'll just be things that are on the agenda.
Yeah.
You can't come in and just comment on anything that's on your mind.
No,
It's
that's on the agenda.
whatever's on the agenda. Okay.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 10 is license agreement with South Central Tennessee Railroad. Resolution authorized county to enter into a license release agreement with South Central Tennessee Railroad Authority for use of short line rail located on county-owned or controlled real property. As we discussed, there's rail that Dickson County still owns that is about to be used by the South Central Tennessee Railroad. We won't have a license agreement with them because if an accident or anything occurs, it will be on them and not on Dickson County on that. And that's, he went to law school to explain it better than that, but that's how old banker explains it to you. Any questions for Mr. Reagan? Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Spicer, second by Commissioner Petty. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Resolution authorizing county to accept award of ELC confinement facilities grant from Tennessee Department of Health. I think the shorthand of this is a 100% grant.
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay. Any questions for Sheriff Eads? Seeing none, open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner Spicer. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Sheriff.
y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Last, I'm gonna have to ask you to suspend the rules. This is a mistake I made. Resolution of Dickson County, Tennessee, authorized the issuance of interest-bearing highway department capital outlay note series 2023 in the amount not to exceed $618,000 and providing for the payment of said notes. This is budgeted. We went through the whole process. It's been approved by the controller's office. I simply forgot to put it on the work session agenda back in early this month. So once again, it's budgeted for highway department borrowing for equipment. We waited this late to the fiscal year because it took this long to get all the equipment gathered up that we were going to purchase on that. So the first thing I'd like to ask you is to get a motion, a second, to suspend the rules to hear this.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Beatty. All in favor of suspension of rules, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, now on the capital outlay note, any questions or discussion on that? Mr. Hodges is here. Nobody's asking him any questions tonight. He's sitting there quietly.
What we're getting, is that the mold?
Mr. Hodges, can you describe what we're getting?
Now, this is for what we've already got. One is a mini exit we got it back in November. We got one tractor. There was a dump truck that carried over from last year that came in this year that we got. And a brush truck. It came in a little while back. We got one more piece of equipment that's coming in, but Don's got that squared away as far as what that process is. This is just for what's hanging.
It'll all fall under the $618,000 note.
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Ledger, second by Commissioner Beatty. Hearing no other question, discussion, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Under other business, there is nothing to vote on because of the no public hearing on that item. Do any of the commissioners have any other business they'd like to bring forward? Seeing none, the next is approval of notaries, Madam Clerk.
Joan Alhite, Timothy Brasher, Julianne Cato, Ricky Collum, Donna Danley, Sharon Davis, Kayla Gallant, Kelly Hamilton, Colt Hample, Aaron Lee Hennessy, John Hutton, Kimberly Massengale, Juliana Marks, Jeannie Moore, Connor Newberry, Cody Phillips, Jillian Pig, Cindy Powell, Alicia Pope, Deborah Rackham, Brianna Reels, Farrah Rogers, Jennifer Shepherd, Yvonne Shields, Jerry Smith, Nancy Stinson, Beth Thornton, Benjamin Torres, and Rachel Wright.
Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Simpkins, second by Commissioner Brett. All in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Before I give this final announcement, I'll remind you that we're about to go into our work session for July. That'll take just a couple of minutes on that. The one thing we always cover at this point in time is the fact that one of us will be having a birthday before we meet again, Mr. Petty. We plan on shooting fireworks for you one day before your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. I look forward to it. If there's no other announcements, the next regular session meeting will be on Monday, July 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Beaverdale Biddy Reed Junior County Commission Chamber, the Dickson County Administration Building, Four Court Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. Have a motion second adjourned. Thank you. Now we're back, now calling to order the work session for June 26th. This is a work session for our July meeting. We've already taken care of the prayer, the pledge, and the roll. The first is the approval of minutes of the special called session of June 5th and the June 5th, 2023 work session. Up before for motion. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. There's no committees report, I guess, on this. New business, we're having to add 2 items that are not on here that will show up in July. The first will be a bid approval for the Canterbury site in the industrial park. That's the site that's where Adcock Cemetery is, where it's been smoothed out, the grant we already approved. So what I'm asking you to do is to approve to have that on our regular agenda on July 17th. Up on the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Simpkins, second by Commissioner Britt. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The other new business, Mr. Darnell?
Without 2 public hearings, I handed out the information tonight.
Okay. This is the work session, so we need to vote to accept those. Can you tell me the names?
They'll just come up as public hearing at the regular session.
Okay, so they will be on your agenda because right now you have an agenda that doesn't show anything so for July, but that's your notification. We're going to have the Canterbury site bid opening and then the public hearing and the first vote on a rezoning. So that will be on your agenda. So any other questions? Any other business on this work session? Okay, hearing none, the next work session meeting will be on Monday, August 7th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the Beaverdale Biddy Reed Junior County Commission Chamber, the Dickson County Administration Building, Four Court Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. Have a motion second adjourned. Thank you.